Okay, so let's just dive right in. While most of us were learning, algebra and history, there's this small group of kids out there learning a completely different set of rules about money. What the ultra rich pass down to their kids by age 13, it isn't just about saving your allowance. No, it's a completely different financial playbook. And the very first lesson is probably the most important one. That's it. That's the command. To really get the mindset we're about to break down, you have to be willing to unlearn some of the most common financial advice you've ever heard. Seriously, forget what you were told about just saving your money, because we're about to see the two playbooks side by side, and it's a real eye-opener. And here it is. This is the core difference right here. On the left, you've got the standard path most of us are taught. Get a good job, make a good salary, save your money. And look, that's a solid plan. But on the right, that's a different philosophy entirely. It's not about earning, it's about acquiring. It's not about saving, it's about growing your net worth. So what does that actually mean? Well, this is the first major mindset shift. The real scoreboard in the game of wealth, it isn't your paycheck. It's your balance sheet. It is a fundamental change in focus from what you make to what you own. This distinction it's so critical. Think about it. A $250,000 salary is loud, It's the fancy car, the nice watch, people can see it. But true wealth, your net worth, that's quiet. It's the assets working for you in the background. The kids of the wealthy, they're trained not to chase that loud income, but to build the quiet foundation. So what exactly is net worth? Well, it's actually pretty simple. It's everything you own that has value, your assets, minus everything you owe, your liabilities. The wealthy are taught to see their entire financial life as this balance sheet, right? A living, breathing thing they need to grow, rather than just a series of paychecks coming in and going out. And these right here, these are the building blocks of that quiet net worth. These are the categories they become fluent in. Not because they're taking some advanced finance course in middle school, but because this is the language that's just spoken around them all the time. They get exposed to it, so it just becomes second nature. Okay, let's move on to the second lesson. And this one might seem a little counterintuitive. While a lot of people think building wealth is about hitting home runs, finding that one big investment, the wealthy are actually taught the complete opposite. They're taught to play defense first. This is the golden rule. This is drilled into them. It means you protect your initial investment, the principal, at all costs. The goal isn't necessarily to double your money overnight. The real goal is to never have to start over, to never have to chase your money again. Because if you don't lose your principal, the growth, well, it eventually takes care of itself. So how do they play defense? They learn to ask these three simple but incredibly powerful questions before they make a move. Can I control it? Will it pay me while I sleep? And is there liquidity? In other words, can I get out if I need to? Asking these questions is what separates an investor's mindset from an employee's mindset. Playing defense is also an emotional skill. They learn it by watching their parents pass on so-called hot deals or turn down what looks like a great return on paper. They learn to ask, okay, but what's the downside? This isn't about chasing hype. It's about being calculated, measuring risk, and controlling your emotions. Okay, let's talk about the single most powerful tool in this entire playbook. And it's not about being smarter or having more money to start with. Nope, it's about having more time. They get exposed to this stuff early, and that gives them an almost unbeatable edge. So just imagine a portfolio where someone starts investing $500 a month, but they start at age 13. Seems like a pretty small amount, right? But the key here isn't the amount, it's the starting line. That small portfolio, the one that started at 13, has more power and will likely end up much, much larger than a portfolio where someone starts investing 10 times as much, $5,000 a month, but waits until they're 30. That is the brutal, beautiful math of compound growth. And this is the crucial takeaway you've got to understand. Getting an early start isn't just a small advantage. It creates a massive, almost insurmountable gap over the years. Time isn't just leverage, it's dominance. This brings us to the final, and honestly, maybe the most important piece of the whole puzzle. How do they learn all this? Well, it's not by sitting in a classroom or reading some textbook. Their education is environmental. It's all around them. This might be the biggest lesson of all because it shows how the learning actually happens. Financial literacy is absorbed through osmosis. It's about being a fly on the wall during business discussions. It's hearing about capital gains and depreciation at the dinner table. They learn the language, they learn the mindset simply because they are immersed in it. And that really leaves us with this final thought. The wealthy don't just teach these lessons, they live them in front of their kids. It's a culture, not a curriculum. So the real question this leaves us with isn't just about what you've learned today, but how might you change your own environment to start absorbing a brand new playbook?